All right, so today we're gonna be talking about this guy right here, the iPhone 16 Pro, and why it might be my last Pro iPhone. But first, if you guys have been with the channel long enough, you guys know that every single year I get a brand new iPhone, the newest iPhone that's getting released. And that's to make videos for you guys, to make case videos, just to make content around the phone. That's just how much I love iPhone and Apple in general. I just love getting the newest tech and just testing it out and see what's new and see what's different with it, basically. But that all kind of changed with the iPhone 16 Pro. So let's talk about it. The first thing is the screen. Now, the iPhone 16 Pro has a ProMotion display, 6.3-inch display, and it is so good. It's buttery smooth. It works perfectly, and just navigating through apps and stuff like that and just using the phone on a day-to-day basis, it is just so smooth. It's actually unbelievable. Like, I feel like the processor and screen can power like a whole entire computer. That's how good the screen is on this phone, and also the processor as well. But the screen is one of my favorite things on this iPhone, and that is mainly because of the ProMotion feature. Now, I know this feature came out on the iPhone 13, and ever since it came on the iPhone 13 Pro, that was like, okay, I cannot go back to a 60 hertz display or a non-ProMotion display because it is just so smooth and so good that using like a normal 60 hertz display, it just feels kind of laggy and just not good. So with ProMotion, kind of spoiled me for any other display. Anything that I use besides that is just kind of just feels laggy and slow, no matter what device it is. Even the iPhone 16, even though that thing is a powerhouse and it's still very, very powerful, the screen is what lags on that phone. That is the thing that's not making me switch to like a normal non-Pro iPhone, is the screen. It's just super, super good. I can't even say enough things about it. Next is the durability on this iPhone. Now, as you guys know, it is a titanium frame. They changed this on the iPhone 15 Pro. It used to be stainless steel, which in my personal opinion, I really did like, but a long-term use, it just did not look good. It would get super scratched up super easily if you did not have a case. Obviously, if you did have a case, you wouldn't notice the scratches really at all. But if you were to go caseless the majority of the time, then your frame's gonna get absolutely destroyed. And that's just something that I did not like. Even though I love the look of the stainless steel, like glossy sides, it just felt and looked very, very premium. The titanium frame on the iPhone 16 Pro looks and feels just as premium in my personal opinion. Obviously, it's not super shiny or anything like that. It is also a matte texture, so you will not see any scratches on your phone if you're going caseless, or if you want to take off the case for a little bit and enjoy the caseless phone. You're not gonna get scratches on it, which I really, really do like. But when I'm not going caseless, like when I'm going on a hike or doing something like traveling or something like that, I rock the Taurus O Fitness O Stand case. Now this case, guys, let me just let you guys know that this is one of my favorite cases I've tested on the iPhone 16 series, and there's a lot of reasons why that is. The first reason is that they come in a bunch of cool colors, so basically there's a color out there for anybody, but the main thing, just how the case is formed. This case has nice rounded corners on every single edge of this case, which makes it fit in your hand super, super well. Like, it feels super comfortable. Even with the case installed onto my phone, it just feels natural to use. The next thing is the buttons on this case. Now, as you guys know, for me personally, I'm a button fiend. The case, if I'm rocking a case, the buttons need to be super clickable and super responsive. And for this case right here, dude, it literally feels like I'm not even, it feels like I'm pressing the actual iPhone button on this case, but it's just a plastic button. This case also does have a covered camera control button, and using it, obviously there's no issues using it. It feels very, very precise, and it feels pretty much just as like I'm using the camera control button on the phone itself. Obviously, one of the biggest features is the stand feature on this case, and you can move it however you want. So basically, if you're the person that puts your phone on your desk, you can always slant it like this, or on your nightstand like this. There's just so many ways to use this and integrate this into your life. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this case, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you guys can check it out. All right, and the next thing I want to talk about is the camera. Now, the cameras on iPhones are getting just so good. Something that I messed on the iPhone 15 Pro that's on this phone right here is the 5x zoom camera. And that is something that I've wanted to try for a really long time. And now you can get it with the smaller size iPhone 16 Pro, which I absolutely love. And I use that feature actually quite a bit. But I also use the wide angle camera a lot when I'm vlogging and stuff like that. This is my main vlogging camera because it's so small and compact, and the cameras work very, very well. And I really do like that I get close up with the 5X or super wide angle with the wide angle camera on the iPhone 16 Pro. So it's super versatile, and I just love how many cameras and how many options you can do with this phone. Even though I don't use them too often, like unless I'm recording a video or something like that, I just love how I have the selection to choose pretty much whatever camera I want. So the cameras on this thing are just absolutely amazing. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the battery life on the iPhone 16 Pro. Now for me, I usually do not go into detail about the battery life on an iPhone, but with the iPhone 15 Pro, the battery life on that phone was just not that great. And it was actually very noticeable for me personally. And that is just something that has been way, way improved with the iPhone 16 Pro. The battery life on the iPhone 16 Pro has been way improved from the iPhone 15 Pro. That was my previous device. So much so that I get an extra 3 to 4 hours using my iPhone 16 Pro. Now that might not seem like a huge amount, but from the iPhone 15 Pro, that is just more than I actually need. Like I have about 30%, 40% of battery life at the end of the day, so I can get towards the next day if I really wanted to. So that just lets you know how much the iPhone 16 Pro battery life has improved from the iPhone 15 Pro battery life. So that is something that I'm really, really glad to see with this phone. I honestly think the iPhone 16 Pro has not died on me yet after 10 months. And that just lets you know how good the battery life is on a day-to-day basis. I also do want to check what my battery life is at currently because I charge it every single night and it is currently at 99%. Okay, so the battery health on this thing is near perfect from when I bought it almost a year ago. So they did some very impressive internal things to make this battery life way better than the previous iPhone. That is just pretty much perfect, okay? It doesn't really need to get much better than this. So yeah, overall, I would have to say this is one of my favorite iPhones that I've used to date, and I've bought every single iPhone since the iPhone 4, and of course they get better and better every single year, but with the iPhone 16 Pro, I feel like there's not really much else you can do to improve the experience of an iPhone. So yeah, with all those things, why might this be my last Pro phone? And that is because it is basically perfect. Like, I don't really need any other thing to make this phone better. Like, the cameras are amazing, the screen is amazing, the design is amazing. Everything is like basically perfect that there's no room for improvement basically. Now I know with the iPhone 17 Pro, they're gonna have a different kind of design, and that does look, it depends on the person, but it looks a little bit different than the iPhone 16 Pro, not by much though. The MagSafe is gonna be a little bit different. The Apple logo is gonna be moved down a little bit, but it's basically gonna be very, very similar as this phone right here. So yeah, let me know if you guys can think of something that can improve this phone even more than how perfect it already is. I would love to know your guys' opinion down in the comments below, because for me personally, I haven't really had an issue with this phone. It's basically perfect. So yeah, I would love to see your guys' input and feedback to see if there's a feature that I'm missing with this phone. And if you guys are looking for the perfect case for your perfect iPhone, then I would check out the O Fitness case from Torres. It is basically a perfect case, especially if you're going traveling or doing something super outdoorsy. It is just super durable and super functional as well with this stand right here, obviously. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.